this or I would run this. Because, like, I'm interested in having, oh wait, we're missing a card. What the frick? Hang on. Let me go to a previous version. Like, this is a 75. What happened? Sometimes Moto and I just don't get along. So did we lose the version that we were working with? That's not good. What's missing then? Moto, come on. It probably deleted a card without me wanting it. And I was like, just as I was getting like really set on the build, like I was like feeling like I was finally happy with 3 medals in the 75, 2 wear tears, 1 flux, 1 Vendilion Clique. Now, if I can't remember what it was, then maybe it wasn't that significant and should be something else anyway, but the hell was it? That's frustrating. That is very frustrating. The heck, Moto? Yeah, let's do this again. What was it? These are sideboard cards. These are all sideboard cards. Sideboard cards. 2 angers were sided. Sideboard. It's a main board card. It's electrolyze. There we go. Red, right, breach Nihiri. I think, unfortunately, the call that I'm making for the meta is Anger and Helix. But, you're not wrong. That does sound sweet. You're not wrong. That does sound very sweet. We figured it out. We figured it out. What's up, Kirvo? Play? Yeah. Trying to figure it out, though. Trying to figure out the mystery. You missed the Tron part? Yeah, Breach Nihiri Tron. There you go. No, I read it. I just didn't read it aloud. It might want to be Ghost Quarters instead. I haven't decided. I haven't decided. I mean, the Path and Tech Edge, they're counterintuitive sometimes, so that makes sense. This is true. Okay, so let's finish that sideboard plan for ad nauseum. Yeah, do it, King Hellcat. Do it. It seems cool. Yeah, she's a fine engine for those archetypes. Jeff Hoogland's been messing around with her in Legacy, even. And it's funny, after playing with it, he might be right. I've been pretty pleased with my sideboard plan. Alright, so I need to do the sideboard plan for Nauseam. That's right, that's where we left off. Okay, so, like I said, at the GP, this is what I would do. I would just shuffle in my sideboard, and then I would start to work through it. So I would say, okay, ad nauseam. These aren't that interesting. Spell snares could be cold. Purge doesn't really have a target. Comes out. Wear tears definitely stay. Place of anger, don't need it. I like the amount. We don't need that either. I like the amount of counter magic we have. 4 things need to get cut. Okay. Now the question still. Sorry. The question still remains. That was an interesting yawn. Do we, against ad nauseam, do we want to leave in all the burn, or do we want to have more Emrakul Wombo combo? I seriously don't like tapping out for most of these walkers, to the point where I think that they're just going to be a sprinkling. Probably that. I think I would just run Nahiri and Jace for their value. I don't think that I would run them for the Wombo combo. That's debatable, though. That's debatable. Maybe I'm supposed to still try to squeeze in the Emrakul. Like, maybe you cut all of the Helixes because they're relatively inefficient in the matchup. Whereas Bolt Electrolyze is still fine. Maybe that's the change. Like, maybe instead of any Helixes at all, it's Emrakul Nahiri. What do you guys think? Against ad nauseam. I messaged Jeff my idea to see if he will try it also. I really want to be playing everything. Yeah? Yeah, I mean, like, I think there's a lot of applications for the card. What do you guys think about this? I think you're better off countering and going off unless you think we can 20-0 burn them. Oh, we can. Like, if I leave in the place of the Helixes between the live... Well, we'll do it less now that I'm only running 1 Electrolyze, but... Let's see, hang on. Alright, so 7 times 3, so 21, 23. And then, of course, you get to recycle these burns with the Snapcasters. No, I mean, like, it used to be a 13-card package. I was running 2 Electrolyze. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're only going to run 1 Lies, the deck will have a harder time doing the burnout plan. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just a matter of what you want to do. Do you want to leave in the burnout plan, or do you just want to leave in the most mana-efficient burns, and then just kind of nickel and dime the opponent dead? Or, yeah, do you want to leave in the Helix? It's pretty much, that's the decision you'd have to make against ad nauseam. Or if they're a variant that the Spell Snare is still decent against, you would probably do this. You would probably run 2 Nahiri, 1 Jace, 1 Emrakul, instead of the full suite of Nahiri. Yeah, I mean, it just would depend. Honestly, what I prefer, though, I don't really like tapping out for any of these walkers. I like Nahiri maybe more than Jace, though, in this match, because she at least takes out the artifact. So maybe the best option we have is as many Nahiris and an Emrakul as we can manage, which would look like, well, it would look like that then. So it's like I can't really, if the Spell Snare was still good, I would do this. I would run 3 Nahiri, 2 Spell Snare, 1 Emrakul. We would look like this. So, yeah. Now here's another thought. If they do in fact have removal from my brains, I do this. If they do in fact do a decent job, I would do this. And maybe this is the more proper, the more correct sideboard plan is this. Actually, in this matchup, these aren't likely tutors. They're likely just going to be a hard counter. So, yeah, I mean, we look kind of like this against ad nauseam. Little heavy on 4s, and that worries me. Yeah, I mean, we don't curve perfectly, but yeah, if there was still a variant of nauseam that this was good, and they do bring in artifact hate for this, like, this would be like game 3. If, like, game 2, they actually did have removal from my brain, I would take that out, and we would sideboard like this. Triple says, yeah, we learned we don't like tapping out the other night. Right, I mean, like, this may still just be wrong. Oh, against Nauseam? Yeah. Check this out. This might be the right board plan no matter what. Against something like a Nauseam, this right here, just be like, you know what, they might have a couple things like a Disenchant or two that come in, but you know what, we just can't afford ever to tap out. And we're just better off loading up on counterspells and loading up on our burn and continuing to run the Brain Beck even at the chance, and then Muddle actually starts to become more of a tutor again, actually, and goes here in the curvature, in my opinion. That might be a better plan against the Nauseam. Just be like, you know what? It's okay if they have the answers for the Brain, because you know what? Brain helps us. It lets us scry. It lets us cheapen the amount of mana that we need to put into our commands. It lets us, you know, Beck call. So I imagine they can do a good job hitting your brains. Okay. Well, then I guess we switch for package. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just, it's a matter of what you want to do. I think it's rough, though. Yeah, I think it's rough tapping. I mean, I think it's rough bringing this in. I think this is better for grinds. The Nahiri combo, I think it's better. Nahiri Jace, Emrakul. So I still think even if they have a reasonable amount of sideboard hate for the Brains and the Becks, I'm going to try to just jam it anyway. And you know what? We could, like, counter or redirect the stuff that they're trying to do, even if it's like an Abrupt Decay, you know, like, I don't know. Anywho. Okay, so what was the second one on the list? It was... So, Ad Nauseam. Check. And we'll save this... Okay, so New Dredge. Okay, that's easy. Actually, with the playset of Angers, I feel like our matchup against New Dredge is decent. So this was sideboard Ad Nauseam. Hey, let me shorten the name again. Bird Brain. So this was the Ad Nauseam sideboard. Okay. So let's open a new copy. What's nice is, like I said at the GP, I would kind of sideboard in the same fashion. I would just chunk the sideboard into the main deck. Seriously, anytime you have a transformational sideboard, you should sideboard this way. Does it give away to the opponent that you might have a transformational sideboard? Yes, it does. But there are plenty of people that sideboard in this fashion anyway. Okay, so now I'm playing against Dredge. Okay, against Dredge, you... I don't know if I want to be tapping out for the Nahiri combo against Dredge. Although they don't have necessarily a lot of interaction, they're kind of focused on what they're doing. They do, unfortunately, have a decent amount of Affinity hate, because Affinity is still a deck that's faster than them. I don't need the Wear Tears. Timely can come in, Vendilion Clique is awkward. Counterflux is unnecessary. Spell Snare doesn't have any targets. So, already we're like, ugh. I mean, Nahiri exiles tap creatures. That's relevant in the matchup. Purge comes in. Yeah, for sure. Muddle's not that interesting to me in this matchup. I don't think I would run it against Dredge. I think I would try to cut as many as I can. Odds and Ends is kind of in that lukewarm area where, yeah, it does take out multiple creatures, but it's a lot of mana if we're no longer on the Brain plan. So I think we actually do... Oh, Jace is great in this matchup, actually. I guess if we have that many walkers that do that, we do that. Then I have 2 more cards. Muddle's tutor for Celestial Purge. They tutor for Snapcaster Mages, which means more Anger the Gods. So I think we do keep in a couple of these just as tutors. We can also fly over, although they do have... Yeah, I guess this would be the board plan then against Ad Nauseam. I mean, against Dredge, New Dredge. Maybe a couple Muddles just to fill out the rest. Move these around. Neri doesn't seem terrible. She does remove via exile. Yeah, she seems alright. And Jace is good against decks that go wide like Dredge. So just plussing him seems great. So something like that. I think the cornerstone of my sideboard plan against Dredge, though, has to involve the Angers. Freaking playset. I mean, like, the cards that we're looking for most are everything from Purge to this to, like, the Walkers, I guess. Especially Jace. These are probably some of my strongest tools. Timely buys us a lot of time. So I would say, and Cryptic can buy you a lot of time. these are some of my best tools, and Muddle does find the Celestial, and Snapcaster, of course, yeah. So, like, these are the cards we're looking for.